Hmm? This is just how we're starting a conversation on a Monday morning? You throwing this very intense hypothetical at me? I mean, the question of what you would do if you got stuck in an endless labyrinth where you get chased by monsters, and if you escape the monsters, you starve to death. That's a pretty serious hypothetical you're throwing at me. I guess I'd probably just die. No, I mean obviously, if this is taking place in a universe where I've never heard of the backrooms and I end up in the backrooms, I would obviously look for an exit, but the backrooms being what it is, I'm probably not gonna find one. I don't know, are we going by the canon set up by that YouTube show, the found footage one? Yeah, so if it's that, there's officially only one real exit from the back rooms, and the rest are all just weird no-clip glitches, so I think I'd just be stuck there forever and die. Well, that's the true horror of the situation, isn't it? The fact that even if you do survive the monsters and you get to see all this cool architecture that doesn't make any sense, you're doomed to starve to death. Although, depending on who you are, you might get lucky and last like a week or so because there is water in the back rooms, I think. Well, they had that bit with the pool rooms, and there's some sinks. Like, one of the guys saw a sink. I think depending on where you end up, you could find drinkable water in the back rooms, but there's never any food. The backrooms copy so much of reality in confusing AI-generated seeming ways, but it never copies the food. But then again, if the backrooms did copy food, do you think it would be actually edible food, or do you think a bag of chips would just be full of tiny chairs? Well, if there was food in the backrooms, it would become a little less horrifying because there would be at least sort of a chance of survival and maybe even eking out a life there, but because there's not, it's just, straight horror. Okay, well, supposing that there was food in the back rooms, it either appears randomly, you have to go gather it, or perhaps you could grow it yourself, depending on where you end up, I still think I'd die in the back rooms pretty quickly. Well, not even just because of the monsters. There's a lot of sheer drops for no reason. You'd just be walking down a hallway and there'd be a hole in the middle of it, but it would be disguised like an optical illusion so it looks like the floor continues, but you just fall down the hole. Very Looney Tunes. I would be getting Wile E. Coyote'd constantly in the back rooms. And since I'm not a cartoon character who can just bounce back from that kind of stuff, I would just die. Oh yeah, that's an interesting comparison, the infinitely expanding IKEA SCP. If you found the right kind of place in the back rooms, you could feasibly set up some sort of fort or protected area like people did in the Infinite IKEA. The only difference is that in the Infinite IKEA, the monsters stop attacking you at certain points of day, and the monsters in the back rooms are always hostile for reasons unknown, and IKEA just already has food in it. IKEAs have a lot of food, actually. It's not good, but it's cheap. It's like Costco, but worse. Not that I mind, I'll eat it, but I don't know if I'd trust food from the back rooms. What if eating the back rooms food starts preemptively transforming you into a mold monster? It's bad enough to starve to death and then become a mold monster in the back rooms, but I think it would be worse to eat food in the back rooms and then turn into a mold monster while you're still aware of what's happening to you. And then you're really caught between a rock and a hard place. Do you keep eating the food that's turning you into a mold monster, or do you just starve to death? Well, that's all pure speculation, obviously, because as far as the canon of the Kane Pixels backrooms is concerned, there's no food in the backrooms. I don't even think we've seen a single person eat in the back rooms. Obviously, the people that were sent there by accident didn't think to bring snacks, but neither do any of the people that go there in the yellow suits. Oh my god, yeah, actually. You think somebody would just sneak in a snack in the interior of their suit, and when everybody's just filming something in the other direction, they just take a quick bite of it inside their suit? I guess it just goes to show there's still so much more to be done with the concept of the back rooms. Like, what's next in the series? We finally get to see somebody eat in the back rooms? Or what if food gets sent to the back rooms and it immediately goes moldy? Right. We still haven't seen one of the monsters get shot with a gun. We saw a person get shot with a gun, but you can see that anywhere. What I'd be really interested to see is two survivors that fell into the back rooms meeting up with each other. No, I actually don't think that'll happen. Not even for story reasons, but just because of technical limitations. Well, the whole thing's animated in CG, right, for the most part, but it looks realistic because of the VHS filter over it. There's a reason why anytime a real person that's not in a hazmat suit has to be on screen, it's just been real actors. A Blender model of a person appearing in front of the camera would look so unrealistic it would kind of shatter the illusion. Yeah, it could just be that the place is so huge that just the odds of getting no-clipped into the same area are astronomical, but still it's canon to the series that missing persons reports went up after they discovered the back rooms, so I feel like there should have been at least one case where somebody ran into someone. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's like survivorship bias, right? Because it's the 90s and not everybody would have a camera on them when they got sent to the back rooms. Yeah, it is a little bit harder to justify why the characters would keep filming when cameras were like way bigger and harder to use back then, but again, survivorship bias. Maybe there were a bunch of other people with cameras that fell into the back rooms that didn't feel the need to film. It was just those specific people. I guess it's a good thing that one guy, Robbie, felt like recording 45 minutes of footage in the back rooms, 'cause we got to see the craziest, scariest shit. It was so scary. I'm still thinking about when he closed the door and the creature knocked on it. He didn't even end up getting chased around all that much, but like the tension, it was just so freaky. I know, I'm such a little baby. I get scared by found footage videos on the internet. I can't play horror games because I'll freeze up. I'm such a wimp. I need someone to protect me. Aw, you'll protect me? Okay, if we ever both get sent to the back rooms, you're on guard duty. Actually, there is water in the back rooms, and I think a microwave. It stands to reason there would probably be a coffee maker in the back rooms. I'm just thinking, wouldn't it suck to end up in the back rooms and also go through caffeine withdrawal at the same time? Exactly. We know there's no food in the back rooms, but we don't know if there's any coffee. I don't know, the dudes that found the back rooms should put a box of snacks in there and see what happens. It'll either make the back rooms start replicating the snacks, or it'll lure in the monsters, which they want to study anyway. Yeah, one of the backrooms monsters just floating on the scent of a freshly baked pie. And then they finally get to see if the gun works. It's foolproof. But unfortunately for us, we actually have to work today, instead of going to the back rooms. Honestly, some days I feel like I would rather starve to death in an infinite labyrinth full of monsters than go in for a shift. But I don't have the option anyway. Ugh. Is there any more coffee left? God. This is just like the back rooms. According to the reports, it's supposed to get up to 22 outside today, so I'd much rather go out instead of doing any real work, so I just improv this. # October summer.